Hello, my name is Jo Sargent and welcome to my kitchen. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make my no knead to knead spelt bread. So it's really quick, really simple recipe which produces a delicious spelt loaf afterwards. Now in true Great British style we have an awful rainstorm outside at the moment, hence the blinds are closed and you will hear a lot of wind and rain probably. So I'm just going to crack on with this and let's see how we get on. So the first thing we need to do is we need to set the oven. So what I do is, in order to help the bread rise, I put on my oven, my top oven, at a very low setting, so that will help it rise because there's no sunshine to help it rise today. So I'm going to pop over to my oven now and I'll put it on about 50 degrees, 60 degrees centigrade. So I'm going to pop the top oven on now to about 50 to 60 degrees. That one will warm up nicely in order to pop the bread in there to help it rise. While I'm here, I'm going to put my normal baking oven onto 180 degrees centigrade. So that will now heat up, waiting for the bread to come in after it's risen. It doesn't take too long to rise. If you'd like to, I know a lot of people don't have two ovens, or you want to put it in a warm place to rise if you're living in a warmer climate, which is great. Sometimes when it's really cold in the UK and I've got the heating on, I pop it on top of a radiator and it actually helps it rise really, really well. So, but for now, today I'm going to use this method. Right, so let's go through some of the ingredients that you need for today's recipe. My favourite spelt flour is Sharpen Park. I've used it for many years, I absolutely love it. I use all their different kinds of flours. This one is the organic white, so that's what we'll be using today. You need a teaspoon of sea salt, which I've already prepared here. You need 3 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. And you need 2 sachets of yeast. Now I use instant yeast, really easy. The one that I've just chopped the top off there, so it's going to be easy to pop in when we need it. The brand I use is McDougall's and it's 7 grams each. So I use 2 sachets of that, so it's 14 grams of instant fast action yeast. Right, so let's start. In my loaf tin, I use glass, always use glass. I did used to use different kinds of tins beforehand, but I thought once I started moving away from plastics, I went into using glass. This is a great Pyrex glass loaf tin. So pop a little bit of olive oil in there, just to grease the sides of your tin. While you're doing this, you could be boiling the kettle because we'll need some hot water in a second. So I'm going to pop the kettle on now. So what I like to do is have a mixture of boiling water and normal water, because then I get a really good temperature. So I'm looking at, we need in total 400 mils of warm water. It needs to be warm enough to activate the yeast. So I normally put about 200 mils of boiling water in, and then 200 mils of filtered water. I use filtered water here because the water coming out of the tap isn't the best quality. So I can just about pop my finger in there, so it's a great temperature. So let's start with the recipe. First of all, we need to put in the 3 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. Then I put in the water. Pop your salt in, and that will also help, that warm water will also help dissolve the salt granules a little bit. Give it a quick stir around. I use bamboo bowls, and they do make a bit of a noise though. Right, so now we need 500 grams of organic spelt flour. Let's open this. So this is a 1 kilogram bag, so it should make 2 loads. Pop on my little scale there. I put the bowl on top of the scales, and now I'm just going to weigh 500 grams out. There you have it. Then 2 sachets of the yeast goes in on top. Switch that Now I just use my tablespoon that I use, and you just mix it around. Doesn't need kneading, doesn't need anything else but a good mix around. You'll see that sometimes you just have to give it a pat down on the sides to get rid of any lumps of flour. You don't want big lumps of flour in there. If I show you that, just keep popping it around with your tablespoon. Really simple and easy to do. That looks about right. Now, in my glass loaf tin, pour it in. Pop it to the sides of each corner so that it's quite even on the top. It will rise, so now it's ready for the proving oven or the rising oven. So let's pop that in. You see what it looks like in there. It's a really good fluffy consistency. It's quite runny, but that will soon rise and make lovely air bubbles inside. So I'm now going to put it in my oven. So now I'm going to pop it in the oven, in the top oven, just to let it rise. So in it goes, and it's now 11:09 here in the morning. So I'm going to pop on 10 minutes and let's see exactly how long it does take to rise. Sometimes it can be a bit quicker, sometimes it can take 12 to 15 minutes to really rise up. Do keep an eye on it, as if it goes over the sides, it's a bit messy and you'll struggle to get your loaf out of the tin later on. So now I'm going to have a nice cuppa. So now I'm ready to take it out. It's risen really well. It's 11:23, so it actually took 14 minutes this time to rise. So I'm going to take it out and pop it in the oven now to bake. Grab my oven gloves. So we'll open this one. Mind for the heat coming out. It's nicely preheated already. Slide it out. You see how the loaf has risen quite well. So it has risen. It's almost at the top. And now we're going to pop this, and it will rise some more as it goes into the oven. So in it goes, middle-ish shelf, pop it in the middle there, and that is 25 minutes for this one. About 7 minutes to go, and then we'll take this beauty out. It looks absolutely delicious, crispy on the top, perfect. Can't wait to tuck in. So the bread's now ready to come out. So we open up the oven, steam's taking out, and there we have beautiful, freshly baked, crusty spelt bread. So once you've taken your bread out of the oven, pop it on the side like I have here and just let it cool down. Once it's cooled down completely, you just need to ease it out. I normally put like a flat spatula or something down the sides and just ease it out gently, flip it over, put it on a cooling rack. Because there's no preservatives in it, it doesn't last for days. So normally it freezes really well. So if I'm making a couple of loaves, if I know that I'm going to be away or that I'm not going to have time to bake, I'll make a couple of loaves. Once they've cooled down, slice it all, pop it in portion sizes in the freezer. It freezes really well, so you can take it out, pop it in the toaster, or just let it defrost overnight and you have some nice bread for the next day. It will last a couple of days. Tomorrow it will be toasted probably. The day after that also, but then you're pushing it if you're going to go past 3 days. Doesn't last that long in my house though. Just sliced into it and you can see the steam still coming off it. I'm going to have that now with some peanut butter on. Lovely. Enjoy your bread, and if you've got any questions, please, I'd love to hear from you. Click that subscribe button below. There'll be more to come soon.